So today decided to do the cycle from Broughty Ferry to Dundee Rail Bridge because there's a lot been going on since I moved down south, and I was really interested to see what's going on. Now I don't know if you see behind me, but the view on the Tay right now is beautiful. I think it's called something like the Silvery Tay. I can start to see why. It starts to look like silk, which is lovely. So one of my favourite things on this is always been if you go under the Tay Bridge, and you can see behind me, you can just see the whole way through underneath. It just looks so cool. I kind of feel like they should put up like a monument or a little statue in there just to fill it in, 'cause it's just so picturesque. I can see a lot of photographers taking photos here, which would be class. This is one of the other things I'm impressed by with Dundee. In the City Quay there wasn't much here, there was just a lot of business stuff for a while, but now they've got this wakeboarding facility done by Fox Lake, and it is very good to be on. There's a couple of zip wires. There was someone on it a second ago, but I think they've got, there he goes. And I think it's just a class way to utilise some space that hasn't been used yet. It's pretty good. There's also a blow up assault course. Not been on that yet, but there's time. So this building's quite interesting. This actually got, this old clock tower got turned into a load of luxury flats. I think they're actually alright inside, but what interests me was I was told there's actually a room installed inside the clock face. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it'd be kind of cool to have a watchtower sort of room compartment within your flat. I think it's kind of awesome. And behind me is Water's Edge, multi-million-pound IT servicing office. Now this is built in an old warehouse back when the City Quay was an active harbour. This right here is just the cooling system for all the IT products inside, which I think was costed a couple million to install. It's state of the art, and basically they're trying to induce the next Rockstar games back into Dundee and hopefully keep them here this time. So they've created this new cycle path since I've been away that allows you to more or less go alongside the harbour right next to all the rigs, and shaves off probably at least 20 minutes on the link between Broughty Ferry and Dundee. So this is probably one of the parts where Dundee's trying to improve itself. It's actually trying to at least bring in new industry into the area. Right now they're in the process of trying to push decommissioning in Dundee, especially with the oil and gas stuff and the oil rigs in general. Now the reason for this is because a couple of years ago there was the North Sea oil crash, and now a lot of companies are trying to get rid of a lot of their old machinery because it's been used for too long. This is really where it just gets processed and cleaned, and then I think it gets taken over to Turkey for actual decommissioning. But it's interesting, it's trying to bring here. The only issue I see is that in order to bring these rigs here, they've got to bypass Aberdeen and Montrose, where all the oil and gas industry currently sits, which doesn't quite make much sense, but good luck to them, I guess. So through these bars you can see kind of what they're starting to decommissioning. I have no idea what this is, so through these bars hopefully you can see the things they're starting to decommission. I have no idea what this is. I just kind of call this the scrap yard, the floating scrap yard. And then after that you have two jack-up rigs. You have the Maersk Gallant, and then just further behind if this will focus, is the Rowan something, or the Rowan something, I don't know how to pronounce that. And basically, those two jack-up rigs are here a lot of the time. I'm not sure if they're here to be decommissioned or just maintained and repaired and then sent back out again. But it's interesting because this bypass allows you to kind of interact with the site a little bit more, see what's going on. Before it just looked like a massive scar on the seafront. But it's interesting actually getting a closer look and seeing what they're up to and almost making it part of what's going on around here. So if you carried on another 5 minutes that way, you would end up at the Broughty Ferry Castle. So going end from end, you're looking at from the castle to the Tay rail bridge with a reasonably okay amount of effort. I'd say 45 minutes end to end each way, which I mean is not bad for what you kind of consider a cycle from one end of the city to the other. I mean, you could do much worse, I guess. So Dundee, being the cultural city that it is, hosts a flower and food festival every year where basically people come from wide and far to show off different types of plants and homegrown fruits and vegetables. This is really sort of an elite competition in the gardening response. I think that's right. I could be completely wrong. I know nothing about gardening, so this is all new to me.
Those carrots look nice too.
And lastly, we get to Urwully's Big Bucket Trail. This was a charity event across Scotland of a famous Scottish cartoon character called Urwully. A lot of companies come together and design these different Urwullys in corresponding with different things, from folklore to famous Scottish and Dundee things, and then just down to fun childhood characters. So it's an excellent example of design done for charity, providing almost £250,000 for projects such as Edinburgh Children's Hospital Charity, Glasgow Children's Hospital Charity and the Archie Foundation. Hope you enjoy.